When my wife and I moved into our quiet cul-de-sac in Maple Ridge Estates, we were looking forward to low-stress living. I work as a professional sound technician, live concerts, studio work, and AV setups for corporate events. And I'm meticulous about sound control. Ironically, the one thing I truly hate is unnecessary noise. But in every paradise, there's a snake. Ours was named Karen. Karen was the self-appointed noise police, HOA vice president, and self-declared protector of peace. She was constantly peeking through her blinds, clipboard in hand, waiting for someone to so much as sneeze above 50 decibels. Things came to a head 2 weeks after we moved in, when I set up my home studio. It's a soundproof space I use for audio editing and occasionally testing equipment. The insulation is commercial grade, more than sufficient to keep sound contained. One afternoon, while tuning a pair of studio monitors at a modest 60 decibels, I heard a knock on my door. Not just any knock, an angry, rapid-fire staccato, like someone was playing drums with their fists. I opened the door to find Karen standing there, lips tight and nostrils flared. "Your music is shaking my windows," she snapped. "This is a peaceful community, and your bass is disturbing my meditation." I blinked. "Ma'am, I assure you nothing I'm doing exceeds normal indoor levels. My studio is fully soundproofed." She cut me off. "I know noise when I hear it. Don't gaslight me. I'm filing a formal complaint." Sure enough, that evening I got a letter on HOA letterhead citing me for excessive noise in violation of community ordinances. The irony of being a sound technician, trained to measure decibels to the millimeter, accused of reckless noise pollution was rich. So I decided to respond like a professional. I wrote back with measured courtesy, providing a copy of the acoustic specs for my studio, including a decibel chart and an audio log from the exact date and time she complained. I also attached images of the acoustic foam, bass traps, and frequency diffusers lining the walls. Karen doubled down. Over the next month, she filed 3 more complaints, each more exaggerated than the last. According to her, my studio was a nightclub in disguise and shaking her plants off the shelves. So I invited the HOA board for a demonstration. I welcomed them into my studio, demonstrated a low-level audio session, and used a calibrated sound meter to show that no noise escaped the room, just 28 decibels outside the door. For context, that's quieter than a whisper. Karen predictably declined the invitation, citing a sensitive eardrum condition. But the HOA board was impressed, and I even offered to help the community with sound insulation tips for other noisy neighbor issues. Then came the final straw. Karen showed up at a neighborhood meeting, waving what looked like a printed screenshot of a waveform. "I captured this noise on my phone app. It proves he's disrupting the peace." I glanced at it and nearly laughed. "That's not a waveform. That's a photo of a Spotify playlist." The room erupted into chuckles. I stood, calmly placed my own printouts on the table, actual readings from a professional-grade decibel meter with timestamps, and said, "Unlike phone apps, I use calibrated tools trusted by OSHA and recording studios." The HOA board dismissed her complaints unanimously. They even amended the bylaws to require that any noise complaints be supported by measurable data. As for Karen, she's been remarkably quiet lately, perhaps realizing she's been outmatched in her own game. The kicker? A month later, her son came by asking if I could help him improve the acoustics in their basement for his band. I didn't gloat, I just smiled and said, "Only if you don't play above 85 decibels."